Hey guys, how's it going? Kulprit here, and welcome back. Today I'm going to show you TDM on canals, if I may. I know, what is that guy doing? I know it's not normally very exciting gameplay, but what's the significance to this? It kind of leads to the topic I want to talk about. This is my first game back after like a 2-week hiatus on Battlefield 3. No real dislike of Battlefield 3, just had some real life stuff. The boys were home on winter break, that kind of thing. They were around. I don't like to play Battlefield 3 when they're around. I don't like them to see it necessarily, and I like to focus when I play. So I wasn't really able to focus there, you know, because I got to be focused on them. Definitely no sound whoring or anything like that. So I've been playing games like Dota 2 and Minecraft, obviously, things like that that are a little more casual. So this weekend I got to get in there, and it wasn't quite a 2-week hiatus. I did play here and there for a couple hours, spot little matches here and there, but nothing worth really putting any work into my game. But I got in this weekend, I played, this is my first match back, and it's funny because watching this and seeing the scores I put up that night made me realize that a lot of my errors, a lot of my problem in my game is my mind, is overconfidence, really. And that's because it's almost like when I take a break, it reboots my game. Sure, when I come back after 2 weeks, my aim is terrible. and what it really was, my vision. I had a hard time seeing and picking little things out, you know? That's the hardest part for me. My aim kind of come back. I've never had crazy aim, not like a skulls or a laser or anything like that. Laser Lord, that is not a laser beam. But it's always been good enough, and my reaction time, same thing. They've never been top, but they've been good enough, but they were certainly dragging here. But what I do is, you know, I say to myself that, you know, all right, listen, my aim is off, my game is off, I'm going to be slow. I need to play more cautious, I need to play more, you know, slow it down, play more methodical, play smarter, cover to cover, that kind of stuff. And you see me doing it here on Canals, a map you usually run around like a chicken with his head cut off almost. I don't play that way. I'm holding an area, clearing an area, and then moving on. Playing a little more tactically, methodically, and it pays dividends. I put up a good score, not a great score for this map, but I was happy with it. I was very happy with it, considering I had just, you know, had that long layoff. So that leads me to my point, and that's, you know, what's holding your game back? Could it be bad habits? And a lot of people it is. I mean, especially people that play pubs all the time. You start to learn, like, you can get away with crap. You know, you can play bad here, or you can, instead of peeking a corner and ducking back, you can just walk out around a corner and look for enemies and targets and get away with it. And you start to form bad habits. You start to get overconfident. You start to think you can shoot your way out of mistakes. And I should never think that. You know, as the more I play and the better I play, my ego and confidence, and I start to think I'm Rambo, and I just think, yeah, I can run around that corner, because if there is a guy there, I'll be able to hip fire out of it and pull some stuff off, and it'll make a great clip. And I usually end up dying. Sometimes I pull it off, and that's the problem, is sometimes I pull it off, so it just reinforces that faulty logic. And, you know, when I take a break and I come back, it's like it reboots all that stuff. It clears the cache, it reboots it. I don't have that. I have the opposite. I have a lack of confidence, you know, because I haven't played in 2 weeks. My aim's going to be bad. My vision is going to be bad. My reaction time is going to be bad. I'm actually also playing with a new mouse. I should take a minute and say thank you to Skulls and Spades. He has now gifted it to me. He used it, didn't like it. It didn't fit his hand very well. So I was like, hey, I'm looking for a new mouse. Send it to me. I'll try it. I'll work something out. And he did. I'm liking it. It's the... Actually, I got it right here. Product placement. No, I'm not endorsed by this at all. This is the Razer Naga MOBA Action RPG Gaming. It's basically got 6 thumb buttons, which I like. I had the Death Adder. I have no problem with the Death Adder. It worked. It was fine. It just doesn't have enough thumb buttons for me. I like to have as many commands on my mouse as I can. So right now, what do I have? I have, you know, Med Pack, Revive. That's not on my thumb. That's on the wheel. Prone, Crouch, Knife, Grenade. All that on my thumb. Because it's less that my left hand has to do. Well, this way I can always be moving, and that's just how I like to play. I don't like to rely on my pinky and things. I'm just not that great with it, to be honest. So it's much better if I'm on my mouse. I can react better, move faster, do drop shots and stuff like that. So I'm liking this mouse so far. It's working good for me. And you know, I hit up Skulls. I was like, hey man, tell me what you want. I'll send it over to you. He was like, nah, it's a gift. So thank you, Skulls. I appreciate that. That was very nice of you. And it's helping my game. I'm liking it so far. So, like I said, I didn't have a problem with the Death Adder, so if you're looking at a mouse, it's a good mouse. It just didn't have enough buttons for me for what I like to play. So yeah, I mean, I had a new mouse, 2-week layoff. I was playing very conservatively, and rightfully so, and I should play that way more often is what I'm saying, and it forces me to re-examine my game. I know how to play well. I know how to play right. It's just sometimes I'm like, nah, I just want to run. and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. We do that in sports and stuff too. You're goofing around. But I've been trying to work on my game a lot lately, And it's clear, you know, watching this clips and this videos as I'm talking now, I'd like to play a little faster. Like to be pushing a little more. This match seemed, I remember it seemed very random, and it didn't seem, I believe it was, I don't have to look at the scoreboard. It seemed kind of barren. Like a lot of people weren't running around that much. So I mean, it was a little bit of reactionary too. A lot of snipers up on the train tracks, but that's always the case. So yeah, I mean, you'll see as I upload a bunch of the gameplays from that night. Every match I played, good enough to show on YouTube, so you'll see them all. One in particular I played, I mentioned in the other video, was like an empty server. It would only start out like 5v5, 4v4, which, you know, like I said, I almost quit out because I'm like, nah, I don't want to play this garbage. I don't have enough time for this. Ain't nobody got time for that. And I stayed for some reason, probably because I'm just too lazy to go find another server. And it ended up being a lot of fun because it was a slower paced game, but it was more, you know, strategic and thought and, you know, thinking man's game where you had to, and again, I mentioned this before if you missed it in the previous video, I believe. You had to think. You had to get to know the enemy. You know, you saw that guy, you killed him a couple times, you're like, all right, I know how he's trying to play. I know how to counter that. I'm going to make his night miserable. And that's what it came down to. And I mean, I was, you know, killing everybody. I mean, I had a really good match. It was a long one. It was like 45 minutes because, you know, slowly the server populated. So the first 20-something minutes of that was probably 4v4, 5v5, and that was a lot of fun because I got to really kind of lean on thinking and out strategizing the opponent and outplaying him rather than just, you know, Twitch reaction. And that's why, you know, guys like Skulls, guys like Zion, guys like Laser Lord, they have my number because they are, I mean, they're great players anyway, but they have such quick guns. And their aim is so good that they get me every time. And because they have such a good backing of tactical and strategic and movement and map flow, I can't outsmart them. Whereas your average player who is a twitchy player, he just learns, he forms bad habits to rely on that quick gun. You know, he shoots himself out of mistakes. And that's fine on a normal pub, but when he comes across a guy like me or someone like you guys that think about the game and have a strong tactical core to the game, I can outthink him. I can outplay him. I can flank him. I can maneuver around him. I can just outsmart him, I guess is what I'm saying. And then, so that makes up for my, you know, where I would have a disadvantage in a gunfight. You basically just have to identify what type of player you are. I'm a tactical guy. I'm never going to have that Twitch skill. I'm never going to have that super aim. It's slowly getting better the more and more I play. But, you know, again, I harken back. I'm a left-handed guy. I used to always use, you know, I'm still learning to use the right hand. So it's frustrating at times because I don't see the improvement I want to see in my aim, my accuracy mostly. But there's nothing I can really do about that except for continue to play, and I got no problem doing that. So, long-winded to wrap it up. Basically what I'm saying is, guys, be careful that you don't form bad habits. And sometimes taking a break or even playing another game, you know, is a good thing. It can kind of reboot yourself. As long as when you come back, you sit there and you examine it and you say, you know what, listen, I got to take it easy here. I got to slow it down. Let's play a good, solid, fundamental game. And then we'll slowly ratchet up the aggression, slowly ratchet up the speed. And until you kind of find your niche, you find your sweet spot. And then don't go beyond it. That's what I do. I find my sweet spot. I start putting them nice beast games. And then I keep going. And then that confidence and that you know, ego builds, and I get myself in trouble, and then I start to slip, and I get frustrated, and you know, I think we all go through it, but be careful, especially playing pub matches. You can get away with a lot of crap. You can get away with a lot of bad play, because the players are, you know, particularly bad, and then you go and play against a good squad, or I play against other 0-8 guys, and I get my ass handed to me a lot of times. I can hold my own, but I don't put up, you know, 2-3 KD matches usually, and that's just, it's a level of competition. I can't outsmart them as consistently as I can on pubs, because they know what the heck they're doing. So I hope that made sense to you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, favorite, always appreciated. Share it with your friends if you think they'd enjoy it. And thanks again for watching, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Just a reminder, guys, don't miss any of my content. Clicking the big screen in the middle, that's going to take you to the Battlefield 3 playlist where you'll find a lot of videos similar to the one you just watched. The video to the lower left-hand side, that's my Let's Play channel. Over there I post all kinds of Let's Plays and walkthroughs, Minecraft, Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, all kinds of different games that don't fit into the first-person shooter genre. And to the lower right, make sure you do not miss the Company 008 community channel. You're going to find a lot of directors over there that post similar content to mine, so if you like my stuff, you're probably going to like theirs too. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a nice day.